Hands, please. Hands, please. Where are hands?
I made them by hand.
Yes, Chef! Carmy, Sid, Richie, and their whole ragtag crew of Master Chefs are back for The Bear Season 3. And there's nothing like a new season in Carmy's kitchen to get me going. Yes, Chef! After carefully putting ice cream in between two Pop-Tarts to make a Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich. Except I get to do it from the comfort of my own home, stress-free, while the characters on screen scramble around a kitchen trying to make sure that this hamachi has enough fancy flakes on it to earn a Michelin star, all while at the same time trying not to have a panic attack. No, sitting down and enjoying a manic episode of The Bear is like watching my brother and sister-in-law make plain pasta with oil and butter for their 3-year-old. More stressful than it needs to be. Meanwhile, I get to watch the whole thing from the safety of the couch, betting whether or not my niece is about to go.
Look at it! What are you doing, Melinda? What are you doing? What the fuck is this?
Or...
out of 5? 5 out of 5.
But putting your blood, sweat, and tears into your food, no matter the cost, is one of the major themes of The Bear. A theme that will help us understand what's in store for Season 4 and what direction the show will likely be going in following that cliffhanger to be continued ending. Because as Chef Andrea Terry, played by Olivia Colman, says at the closing of her restaurant,
and I think what I've learnt over the years, in all the places I've worked, is people don't remember the food. Sorry. It's the people that they remember.
And that's what this show is supposed to be about. More than food, more than the all-out drive to be the best and succeed in an industry where even just getting your foot in the door is nearly impossible. It's about connecting to people. So Season 3 of The Bear revolves around essentially 2 main plot points. Will The Bear's new fine dining restaurant receive a make-or-break good review from the Chicago Tribune? And will Sydney accept Carmy's offer to join the restaurant as a partner, or instead take Adam's offer to join Adam's new kitchen as his CDC? To make matters worse, if the review isn't good, Uncle Jimmy's pulling the plug on the Bear to recoup his losses. Not to mention, Carmy still can't build up the courage to apologize to Claire for his outburst inside the kitchen fridge in Season 2. Ultimately, things all culminate in a sort of restaurant funeral, a final meal for Chef Terry's restaurant with special guest diners who all happen to be famous restaurant people. You know, sort of like The Menu, except on one hand you have the kind, generous, and nurturing chefs who say,
"Everyone knows love is the most important ingredient."
And on the other hand, there are chefs like David Fields whose vibe is more like,
"It wasn't cod, you donkey. It was halibut. Rare fucking spotted halibut."
Funnily enough, Joel McHale, who plays Chef Fields, the chef who tormented Carmy through his education, has said he based his character on Chef Thomas Kellers, who's known for his high-stress kitchen environments. And Chef Keller actually makes a cameo this season, although in a much kinder light than McHale's portrayal of Fields.
And he came to me one day and he asked me, he said, "Thomas, do you know why cooks cook?" I'm like, okay, I'm trying to think. He said, "We cook to nurture people."
In fact, there are a plethora of real-life infamous chefs and restaurateurs that make cameos throughout the season, especially in the final episode, including Grant Achatz, Kevin Bame, Willie Dufresne, Will Guidara, Jeannie Kwan, Malcolm Livingston II, Anna Posey, Rosio Sanchez, Christina Tosi, and more. And it is at this meeting of the greats where Sid and Carmy reach critical points in their journeys for the season. For Carmy, it's his confrontation with Chef Fields, who literally pulls out the Mad Men meme when Carmy storms up to him to tell him how much of an a-hole he was.
I feel bad for you.
I don't think about you at all.
I think about you too much. I don't think about you.
However, as Chef Fields walks off, Carmy manages to refrain from pushing the confrontation further and finds his peace, a theme that arises in Carmy's connection with his sort of it's complicated girlfriend, Claire. She is his peace.
She's... peace.
Totally peace. Like of ass, right?
What?
Like a piece of ass, like on the inside.
No.
I fully expect, come Season 4, for Carmy to continue his journey to find his peace, give Claire a call to apologize, and, as was depicted in this scene, finally set the broken bone so the wound can heal, hopefully before it's too late.
And I know that he loves you. You're the peace.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. Like, you are the peace.
No.
Yeah, Clipper. You're the peace.
In fact, all through this season, characters are on a search for peace. Marcus with his mom's passing, Tina going from just wanting a job and not caring about being inspired to now trying to perfect a cauliflower dish. Richie learning to accept his ex-wife's engagement, and even Natalie being at peace with her relationship with her mother, despite this being how mom crashes a holiday dinner. And then there's Sid, who's starting to learn that regular panic attacks aren't necessarily a normal part of the job description, as fellow chefs detailed how they received praise and encouragement from their mentors.
That feeling of like creating something new is just like
And then having someone you
everlasting.
really respect
Absolutely.
say, okay,
Yeah.
it's ready to go on. Not just you saying it's ready to go on.
Yeah.
Chef, it's not ready yet. You understand?
It becomes
And I showed it to Alex, and he was just like,
I'm trying
took a picture. You know,
Of course, this is also not helped by Carmi's slow breakdown from both losing Claire and striving for perfection in the kitchen, something that's beginning to turn him into a version of his former mentor who he hates so much. Ultimately, though, it's the people Sid has formed connections with at the Bear that flash through her mind during this final meal at Ever. Which leads me to believe that Season 4 will see her staying with the Bear at some point, if not for Carmi, then for the others. And while Carmi is far from perfect, he too is learning to be more like Andrea and less like Chef Fields. After all, cooking is meant to be nurturing, and what is striving for perfection if it comes at a cost? Losing friends, losing loves, not to mention the physical toll.
Panic attacks and nightmares. You gave me ulcers.
Brother,
But what of this final moment? What's on the other end of that review we never get to fully see? Well, you'd think it must be good enough for the restaurant to stay open, as we know Season 4 is already being filmed. Otherwise, Carmi's going to have to really pull a rabbit out of his hat to keep Uncle Jimmy paying for that Orwellian cheese.
I have a bill in my hands for $11,268 for butter.
It's Orwellian.
It's dystopian butter?
However, as the review comes in, there are several missed calls and messages from Uncle Jimmy and his financial advisor that come to Carmi's phone, which is probably not a good sign. Perhaps as seen in these flashes of words, the review is mixed, strong enough to keep Uncle Jimmy on, but bad enough for Carmi to cry out.
Motherfucker.
Looks like all that working yourself to the bone really didn't work out for you, did it? Still, the Bear is going to be back for another season and another crack at service. And if Carmi and crew can make it through this review, perhaps learning not to sacrifice their health and happiness striving for perfection is the next hurdle. A notion that rings true from so many chefs this season.
Restaurants.
Yeah, right? Why do we do this to ourselves?
And what's up with the restaurant? What's going on?
you know, kicking my ass as usual.
Yeah.
But that shit does not come for free, and I don't think I want to pay with my sanity anymore.
Yeah.
Because whether it's the perfect pastry or frozen waffles, food is really about the people we share it with. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. And until next time, remember...
I'm feeling your acid. It's just like
What the fuck, Mama? What the fuck?